Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of A&W Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. A.D.E.
And I'm your host, Mr. WALE, aka Walls.
Yes. We're just gonna be discussing about going back to normal. As you can see, in UK, they are lifting off restrictions to people going back outside, to people wearing less of a mask, and going back to normality, as they say it.
Yeah, so welcome again, guys. Sorry we've been on a short break. You know how life gets, personal issues, work life, responsibilities and stuff. But yes, like my co-host just said, we're getting back to normal, and we can give thanks to a few things.
Yep.
One of them is a lot of people are taking the vaccination. I mean, I personally haven't taken it, but I know family members have taken the vaccination, and the population is slowly but surely getting back to normal, which is something great and amazing. What do you think?
What is normal though? That's the question, because we've been in isolation for so long that we don't even know what normal is anymore. Like, some people are still actually feeling the pressure of stepping outside because of the fear of the media, of the pandemic that's going around in the whole world, you know. So there's just still like, they're not too sure how we safe, because the government actually hasn't made it clear that if we're totally safe.
I mean, that's very true, and all I can say about that is the program and the initiatives that they've got in place is kind of helping us so far, because according to statistics, the hospitalization of COVID patients is slowly reducing, which is quite a good thing. And also, let's not take away the fact that there are people out there that are constantly fighting for us through protest, through different types of protests to kind of like go against the government, because the non-vaxxers, as they call them, do believe that this is a government control. So they've been on their neck with protests, because we had one the other day that is called, I think is Ban the Bid, or something to do with, there's a new bill, Ban the Bill. There's a new bill that's coming out that people are protesting against, and it kind of is in line to do with freedom of expression and also monitoring and spying protesters. So anyway, getting back to normality as we call it, one thing that I can say a lot of people are quite happy about is returning to the gym. I mean, all I'll say to you guys is, in the last few weeks, my timeline on my social media has been filled with people going to the gym, people taking selfies with the gym equipment. Whether they're actually working out, we don't know. You know, another thing that I find quite strange and interesting at the same time is that I didn't know that many of us missed going to a restaurant that bad, that nowadays people are willing to sit outside in the cold, literally shivering, just to eat outdoors.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I totally have maximum respect for the people that are going out there to support local businesses, and I think it's a bit as well to do with people just being tired of being indoors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, recently, as in like last weekend, there was an experiment that was carried out in Liverpool, where they allowed, I think, between 2,000 to 4,000 people inside a club, and what they said was, oh, we're gonna monitor those people, and then we're gonna carry out tests to see how the COVID is resisting against no social gathering. But the question I want to ask is, okay, if you've packed people in there, how do you monitor them 24 hours a day to know that they've not gone out of anywhere to potentially spread the so-called COVID?
Well, I actually heard on the radio that before you get into the rave, you have to have your test to check if you're negative or positive. And I was just thinking, okay, so that means everybody that's going there must have that test paper to show at the door, like, yo, you know. And I went out to Stratford, and the way I saw my people just smiling. Like, it was so amazing just to see people smiling again. You still get the same people that still have that fair mongo, like when you hear a cough, they like start looking.
They'll take 2 steps away, like.
So like, but one of the things that I noticed that I couldn't stand is the queue.
Yeah.
Bro, there was queue everywhere. Imagine in Stratford Rest, you can't even use the toilets. There's no toilets at the shopping center.
Because of social distancing.
I was like, wow, no toilets. You understand? Do you know how many people came? I was gonna go use the toilet. How many people came and they keep saying the toilet is closed. The toilet is closed. I was like, bro, why is the toilet closed? But it was so good to see people back outside, mingling and having fun, and,
Yes.
and the sun is out as well, so people are dressing nice in their nicest outfit.
Yes.
And one of the things I noticed is that there's a lot of younger ones out there that just like trying to look like grown-ups. You understand? I'm just thinking, boy, everyone be careful this this summer. Make sure you ask for ID before you go out on a date.
Yes, any sort of interaction.
Yes.
I mean, also one thing that I noticed as well is over the last few weeks I've been shopping. I call it retail therapy.
Boring.
I wish. I've been to Harrods, Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, and it's quite amazing how people are going out there in numbers and just shopping. Because one thing that we need to realize is, okay, in the last 1 year, majority of people, or majority of the population have been on furlough, which means some of us have had vast amount of savings. And as much as, yeah, everything is slowly going online shopping, some of us still physically like to go into a shop, touch what you're buying, feel what you're buying before buying it. So in a way, us opening the store back up kind of helped people's sanity, because the amount of people that I saw out in shopping centers is it's impressive. It's amazing, because we are so done of being locked indoors. We're so done of our freedom being taken from us that I'm happy that a lot of people are not necessarily going against the government guidelines, because the guideline has been slowly eased off over the last few months. And hopefully, come not even next month, in a few weeks' time, because we're already in May, indoor eating is going to be, all restaurants is going to be opening back up, which means if things go according to plan, the economy is ready to start recovering. And then the next stage from there, if all goes well with the increased numbers of people taking vaccinations, by June, ending of June, hopefully we should be back to normality fully. No wearing of masks, no social distancing, free travel, because currently we're still having issues with, not necessarily issues, but there are still countries that are being put on red zone. Especially one of the recent countries is India,
Yeah.
because there's been an increase of infection in that part of the region. But at the same time, if you look at somewhere like Dominican Republic, if you look at somewhere like Las Vegas, Miami, people are already in clubs partying, no face masks, no restrictions. So yes, I'm tired of being indoors, man. I kind of miss the whole interaction with people. And I can tell you, it's not just us in terms of our age group. Think about the children as well. Think about kids that all they know is their friends in school. They've had no choice but to adapt over the last 1 year. So them going back to school now, being able to interact with their peers, kind of carry on that self-development that we all have to go through as individuals.
Well, I'm just gonna say that we are happy and alive and grateful to be here, to be able to share these stories.
Yes.
And also we can look back in back in the past and say, oh, remember when we were wearing face masks?
2020 would be a year that we would definitely not be forgetting anytime soon.
But one of the things that I still don't understand with the law is the COVID passport for you to travel. Like the law about you have to get a vaccine before you can travel. I still think that a lot of people are gonna go against that.
I mean, to be honest with you, I really can't speak too much about that at the moment. Reason being is kind of to do with the vaccine passport or whatever they call it. It's still ongoing discussion, and the research and information that's out there is not sufficient enough for me to be able to make any sort of valid judgment. So I'm hoping we don't get to that stage, but if we're talking about that, let's think about it. There's event venues, there's concerts, there's things that already they're saying if you don't have the vaccination you can't come in, but are those businesses, are those companies willing to take the risk to lose customers based on this?
Or lose money.
Yeah, and also my colleague, he's a comedian, and in his field, they've had to adapt to a new way of doing comedy shows.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I went to a comedy show yesterday, and it was in a car park.
Yes.
And people were in their cars.
Yes.
So imagine performing to cars. Like that experience yesterday for me was like, wow. I was like, but I kind of find a way to do it. When I look at somebody in the car and they're laughing, that was my target. As soon as I see that person laughing, then I'm like, okay, if I can concentrate on you laughing, then I can.
Else don't matter. You know? So the reason why I brought this up is to kind of show you that over the last year, there are people in different fields of the market that are thinking of innovative ways to still be able to survive in this business. Because when you think about entertainment business, for example, no show's been had in the last year.
Nah.
There's no concerts, no shows, nothing. So imagine artists, what they're going through now. And if, just in case you haven't noticed, this is not why we do podcasts, but when you notice a lot of artists, both in the UK and in the United States, have resorted to podcasts because they've had to figure out an innovative ways of surviving in this dire time. Look at someone like Tory Lanez. He made the most amount of money last year from what? Streaming, what did they call it? Quarantine radio.
Live stream.
Yeah, so these are things that, yes, we might not fully get back to normal the way things were before. And I personally feel that we're slowly moving on to virtual world.
Yeah.
And that's the way forward. And to kind of prove how valid this statement is, look at cryptocurrency. Look at trading. Everything that's happening now in the world is moving online. Cryptocurrency is literally about to put banks, building societies out of business. And it's something that, to the state that banks are even buying into cryptocurrency themselves. So yes, guys, if you're not into trading yet, I will say it one more time, this is the best time. If you need any advice, if you need any tips, I know I have my knowledge in it, and I've got friends that are more qualified, stockbrokers, people that live day to day on this trading thing. So yes, we want to get back to normal, but at the same time, we want to come up moving forward.
Yeah, going to the trading as well. Like me, I don't know anything about the trading, but I've been clued up a little bit by him. Like, okay, this is what you need to do. So I've been studying a little as well. And I'm slowly getting it, you know. I don't have no clue, but once you learn how to, like, once you put interest into it,
yes,
you start gaining knowledge about it. So it's also about learning more.
Yes.
You understand? You're not too old or too young to learn anything new. Me, I always try to learn any new skills. You understand? I like doing videography and I like doing stuff. And also going back to what you say about online stuff, that's one of the things that's actually affecting me now, because imagine my promoter for my show said, oh, the reason why you're not getting booked is because you don't have followers online. And I'm just thinking, I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm not a
virtual comedian. Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying, because like now things like TikTok, yeah, for example, artists, music labels, that's what they're using now to sell records. They will force the music, the image, the sound on TikTok, that once it goes viral on TikTok, that's all you need. So a piece of advice to you, my colleague, is yes, build the online build the online profile.
Like,
You have to do
let
it.
me tell you, I just like to feel the presence of people.
Yes.
That's me. Staring to an empty mobile phone,
I know, it's weird, but
it's so weird.
it's where we're
I
headed.
can't be creative with it because I need reaction, but I have to
Yes.
push myself into being. That's
And you
why
have to adapt.
You know, and like people were telling me, like, you have to be active on social media. I was like, okay, is that what life is coming to now? Be active. What about active on in real life?
And the funniest thing is, a lot of the, not to take a dig at them at all, but a lot of these comedians that came out with this virtual online world, some of them struggle when they have stand-up comedy shows, because being in front of a public and being in front of one camera are two different
That's
things.
what I'm saying. You see, you just said it right there.
That's
I enjoy being in front of the public.
Yes.
Because that's when people.
You feel the
I
vibe.
feel the vibe
You
from
can
them.
connect
Like,
with
okay,
them.
I can learn from their reaction, but they get their thing from standing in front of the camera and just like yeah. But I can't. I don't feel that. That was not the way I started. I started going to comedy shows, standing in front of the people and just saying, hey guys, yes, this is what I do.
Yes.
You understand? So trying to go into this virtual world it's going to be difficult, but I'm willing to give it a go.
It can be challenging, but it is very doable.
Yeah.
You know, and also, I mean, we're just kind of, to put it out there, make sure you look after your health.
Yeah.
Yes, the virus is slowly being eradicated or slowed down, but at the same time, building your immune system is always something you got to be mindful of. Drinking a lot of water.
Yep.
I'd say exercise, but not necessarily going to the gym.
Yes.
YouTube now, you can find all kind of
easy exercise
things on there that you don't have to pay. All you just gotta do is, if you really want to, invest in the equipment.
I mean, I don't do heavy weight lifting, but I do small exercise. Even if it's half an hour a day or 1 hour a day, I'm good.
Yeah.
As long as my blood is flowing through my system, and I'm alright. And we just want to say to what's happening in India, RIP to the people that's gone and passed.
Yes.
And I hope that they will be able to find ways to help people over there. Even in St. Vincent, what's happening there right now. Things is happening all over the world, not just the places that we're mentioning. I just hope that definitely that we will be able to go back to normal and we can use this as a learning curve. And also the thing I'm gonna say to people is that I hope you guys have learned during this pandemic that no one is bigger than anyone. You understand?
Money cannot save you.
No money can save nobody. You understand? So learn to love each other and appreciate each other. And let's not try and fight each other or be angry with each other, and just live with love and peace.
Yes, just to kind of like put on top of that, we fight against so many other people. Let's not fight against ourselves. We need to preach love against our fellow black brothers and black sisters. This is something that I want to make sure, if possible, on each and every podcast that we do moving forward, we want to reiterate the importance of that love, that unity, that connection within ourselves, because we've got a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And yes, today's topic is about getting back to normal, but my normality doesn't involve hating on another black person.
Not even
black person. Another human race, because we are meant to be united, you know. So let's adopt that mindset as, and I'm gonna say as black people, because we're trying to be focused on that topic. Let's connect with our people. All of this, I'm Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian, I'm Jamaican, I'm African, I'm Caribbean. Let's take that out of the equation for a minute. Let's all love each other as one.
You know what? One thing that I wanted to go do, but I was a bit scared. I was gonna go into a graveyard and show something that if you look at graveyard, all you see is stones.
Yes.
You don't see religion. You don't see politics.
Yes.
You don't see money.
You don't see
color. You don't see anything. You don't see color. So once you're here, just love yourself as human beings.
Yes.
And appreciate life.
That's it.
Because bro, This 2020 has taught me a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, on that subject, or should I say on that topic, we would like to say everybody stay safe.
Yeah.
If you have any comments, suggestions, please post it. We would like to read some of your comments and some of your views as well. And hopefully we'll be seeing you guys on our next podcast.
Yes, so my name is A.D.E, Mr. Africans Do Everything.
And I'm Mr. WALE, Mr. Wells.
And we shall see you again.
Take care, guys. See you soon.